Hello my friends, we are back with a new video and that is about to send you on a trip of addiction. Are you ready to find out what it's all about?
Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you for checking this video, and if you're new to the channel, I am Vasharal and together with Armea we are Tailplay, a channel dedicated to gaming of all kinds, from PC to console to even mobile sometimes. We cover it all. If you're looking for reviews, updates and game listing just like this, stick around until the end. In today's video we will cover the most addictive games you can find based on genres.
We are going to list our top 10 picks and the alternatives for each depending on your preference. But a fair warning, once you get yourself into the games, it is really difficult to put them down unless you have already spent hundreds of hours in the game. We wanted to split them into genres because we believe everybody has their preferences in what kind of games they enjoy playing. So without further extending the intro, let's get into the list. Resource management. For this, we have picked two games, Factorio and Satisfactory. They are both similar by nature as you have to manage your factory and keep yourself on the edge all the time trying to manage your resources and making your factory work optimally. Personally, we have both spent over 30 hours in Satisfactory and we have jumped on the game blindly, not knowing what to expect. Vasharal has even tried Factorio's demo to see what it's all about, and after playing for just a couple of minutes, he realized that he spent already in the demo 1 hour without noticing the time. Not to mention that it convinced him that the game is worth buying.
I knew for a fact that, like Satisfactory, Factorio is just as addictive. Although both games look different and have a different mechanics, they are both about the same principle, maintaining your factory operational. Now, either you prefer the top-down old-school look for Factorio or a modernized first-person look of Satisfactory, we are very sure you'll enjoy them both just as much, if not one more than the other. What you can expect out of these games? For sure a couple of hundreds, if not thousands of hours spent.
Base Builder. Now for base builders, we picked as well two that we think you'd enjoy, although both are unique and different in their sense. They are both focused on building your base, surviving, and prospering. Similar to the listings we've had above, these two games will keep you hooked for hours trying to get one more building setup before you decide to call it a day. Just realize that you've already overstayed in the game and it is time to go to bed. In RimWorld, you begin with 3 survivors of a shipwreck on a distant world, manage colonists' moods, needs, wounds, illness, and addictions. Build in the forest, desert, jungle, tundra, and so much more.
Oxygen Not Included is a space colony simulation video game that allows players to manage their duplicants and help them dig, build, and maintain a subterranean asteroid base. In the game, you're forced to manage your oxygen levels, hunger, illness, and researches. Although we've never played RimWorld, we did Oxygen Not Included, and we can tell you warm-heartedly you'll spend hours without noticing the passing of time, and each minute you want to do something else leads you to more stuff that you want to do along the way. RimWorld has been recommended by so many players that it's difficult not to mention and recommend the game. We're looking forward to try this one as well sometime soon.
Roguelike. For roguelike, we picked Faster Than Light or FTL and Hades. Both games are totally different but they fall in the same category of roguelike games. FTL Faster Than Light is a space-based top-down real-time strategy roguelike game. In the game, the player controls the crew of a single spacecraft holding critical information to be delivered to an allied fleet. While being pursued by a large rebel fleet, the player must guide the spacecraft over 8 sectors, each with planetary systems and events procedurally generated in a roguelike fashion. While facing rebel and other hostile forces, recruiting new crew and outfitting and upgrading their ship, combat takes place in possible real time, and if the ship is destroyed or all of its crew lost, the game ends, forcing the player to restart with a new ship.
On the other note, Hades is an action roguelike game. You play as Zagreus, immortal son of Hades, on his quest to escape from the underworld, fighting through many angry lost souls along the way. What really makes this game addictive is that with each defeat you get to try again and again until ultimately, you guessed it, you'll escape Tartarus. Although both games are different by style, people have been spent countless hours addictively playing them, including ourselves, when it comes to Hades.
Turn-based strategy. Turn-based strategy games usually have the tendency of robbing you of your time. But what really makes them so addictive though? I guess the real reason is that people love to plan ahead their next move and end up either winning or taking the safest approach to a situation. A great example of such games is Civilization franchise and XCOM franchise. With both games, you can expect to sink many hours from the start to finish, and what really adds up to replay value is that both games offer you the possibility to mod the games, which makes it even more addictive. Civilization is a turn-based strategy game in which you attempt to build an empire to stand the test of time. Become ruler of the world by establishing and leading a civilization from the Stone Age to the Information Age. Having to pick from dozens of civilization and procedurally generated locations, this game can feel and take you dozens if not hundreds of attempts to finally finish the game, and once you are done, you can start again differently.
XCOM is a science fiction video game franchise featuring an elite international organization tasked with countering alien invasion on Earth. The most recent two, XCOM Enemy Within and XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, will take you hundreds of hours to complete if you're not on the rush. Besides, not to mention the most recent DLC as well. What's best of it all is that once you've done all the game, you can pick up the Long War mode that increases the length of the game, adding additional stuff that makes the game feel absolutely different. Nevertheless, both games are super addictive, and if you love similar games, rest assured there are plenty of them out there that will have the similar concepts.
City Builder. Next, we've got City Builders. There is many to pick from, but we thought of sharing of the most well-received games for its addictive way of being. The first one is City Skylines. The game is a single-player, open-ended city-building simulation. Players engage in urban planning by controlling zoning, road placement, taxation, public services, and public transportation of an area. With so many DLCs backing it up and active workshop full of awesome modes, this game can take you hours to complete. For instance, Vasharal really loves this game and have spent over 130 hours easily in the game just building up his first city. If you love to manage SimCity or Transport Tycoon Deluxe back in the day, you'll find a lot of resemblance in this game.
Timberborn is a beaver city building game with unique architecture system, wooden machinery, dams, and water physics. In Timberborn, you play as a beaver after all the humans have gone extinct, and beaver civilization have evolved enough to take over the world. At the moment, the game is in early access, but players really enjoy the game and you can get hooked really quickly. Nevertheless, we recommend both games.
Farm Simulator. On to the next, farming, my favorite genre by far, and what other better games to pick but Stardew Valley. By this point, I know for a fact that there is no other addictive farming game out there that can beat this game. But there is one more that we've mentioned in our farming listing, so we're going to mention again here. Yep, Farming Simulator series. As I've said, there is barely any reason why you would share about Stardew Valley because people already know about it. So let us talk a bit about Farming Simulator.
Farming Simulator is a farming simulation video game series. Players are able to farm, breed livestock, grow crops, and sell assets created from farming. The most recent installment, Farming Simulator 22, takes you on a role of a modern farmer and creatively build your farm in 3 diverse American and European environments. Farming Simulator 22 offers a huge variety of farming operations focusing on agriculture, animal husbandry, and forestry, now with exciting addition of seasonal cycles. We think it's a cool feature for farming as it has been present in many other farming games but not in Farming Simulator before, so like ourselves, this made a lot of fans very happy.
Sandbox. For this type of games, we've had a real struggle placing them in a specific category, but Sandbox should do the trick. These two games have a unique yet very engaging and addictive gameplay that can keep you up for hours. Kenshi takes place in a post-apocalyptic setting and allows characters to be a thief, a trader, or a myriad of other options. The game has received mostly positive reviews from critics who have commented on its depth and difficulty. Kenshi is an open-world role-playing video game with a real-time strategy elements that have no linear narrative, so you can choose to do whatever you like, however you like it.
The same goes for Mountain Blade Warband and Bannerlord. This franchise has been really unique as it has been really focused on strategizing your army, managing your men, and making long-lasting connections with the map with important people. I can't stress enough how easily you can get sucked into the game for hours on end and only you'll be scratching the surface of the game. To finally beat this game, you have to play for hours on end, and at each step you have something to do. You can do crafting, managing your armies, arena, get married and have children and raise your empire, trade, and much more. Bannerlord is still in early access and I'm personally looking forward to seeing what the developers have to offer once the game is done, and we'll know for sure that these games will keep us for hours on end.
Card and board game. If you've grown up in the 90s and up to early 2000, you probably at some point got yourself into a card or board game with some friends. Usually, card and board games are extremely addictive. No wonder that some people turn out into complete gambling addicts. Playing your cards right is awesome. But for now, we are going to leave the addiction to gambling for another time. One known addictive card game is Slay the Spire. So, what is Slay the Spire? Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck building video game. Slay the Spire is a game in which you climb the spire, ascending its floors through 3 acts, 4 acts if you collect the keys, encountering many enemies, bosses, and events along the way. The paths through each act all lead to a final floor where a challenging boss encounter awaits. What makes Slay the Spire so addictive is the deck building element and how each card can be used to climb your way to the top of the spire.
Okay, so you may not like as much card games, but you love board games. How about Tabletop Simulator? So what's Tabletop Simulator? Tabletop Simulator is a player-driven physics sandbox without set victory or failure conditions. After selecting a table to play on, players interact with the game by spawning and moving virtual pieces, which are subject to physics simulation. Online multiplayer is supported with a maximum of 10 players. In it, you can choose to play all kinds of game modes, from card games like poker to chess to Dungeons and Dragons to pool to whatever game exists out there that can be played or have been invented. The workshop offers a variety of awesome games that you can pick, so playing this with friends umps the experience 10 times. Aside from this, it supports VR, so it increases immersion even more. Anyway, if you don't fancy that, on to the next one.
Souls-like. Soul-like games have been one of the most popular genres in the last couple of years, and with a good reason. They are difficult to overcome, but when you do, they make up for a rewarding experience that you are craving for more. Now, 2 of the games we picked are different in nature but contain the soul-like element and make for an addictive experience the players return to again and again to the game. I could name the entire Dark Souls series, but I believe that the throne has been taken clearly by Elden Ring. By now, everybody knows and talked about it, and at some point, we even thought about making a review, although we thought it was redundant to actually share when there's so many out there already talking about it. Anyway, Elden Ring is an excellent example of an addictive soul-like game that expands on its predecessors by opening the map to explore and more challenging encounters. You've never picked up a soul-like game, Elden Ring is a lot more forgiving to newer players, yet it keeps the difficulty high up and so goes for the reward, which makes it for an addictive experience nevertheless.
On the flip side, Hollow Knight is a classically styled 2D action-adventure across a vast interconnected world. Explore twisted caverns, ancient cities, and deadly wastes, battle tainted creatures, and befriend bizarre bugs, and solve ancient mysteries of the kingdom's heart. Although Hollow Knight is an action-adventure Metroidvania game, it maintains a difficult yet rewarding system like Soul-like games, which makes the players love it so much to the point that it's considered unique and one of the best Soul-like games that exists to date. And that leaves us with the last type of games.
Sports. Sports games are awesome, but they aren't for everybody. But for those that wish to find their addictive games, here is what we are most sure about. Forza Horizon series, especially the 5th, is a game that took players by surprise when it got released, and so many people who love car racing love this game so much. Forza Horizon 5 is a racing video game set in an open-world environment based on a fictional representation of Mexico. The game has the largest map in the entire Forza Horizon series, being 50% larger than its predecessors. Forza Horizon 4, while also having the highest point in the Horizon series, so there is a lot to do in this game, and pretty much each race type is fun and engaging.
Now on the other side we have two picks, because it's difficult to draw the line between the two since they are different by game but have their own fan base. FIFA and NBA make for a great pick if you are inclined towards them. Although I personally prefer basketball, football makes up for the majority of sports fans. Fans of FIFA are in a love and a hate relationship with the game, because although the gameplay aspects is fun, there's a few issues in regards to repetition and a very few changes when it comes to the game from year to year. So goes for fans of NBA. It's also really difficult to seek something else when the market in that area is really scarce. Anyway, what do you prefer, FIFA or NBA? Let us know in the comments.
So that's all from today's video. We know there is a lot more games that we've not covered in this video, so we'd love to hear from you what games are addicted in playing and losing count of time. If you've enjoyed our video, drop us a like, and if you want to see more content, subscribe to our channel and turn on the post notification to be notified when we release a new video.
Thank you for watching another Teleplay video. My name is Vashral, and together with Armea, we're more than happy to share this video. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, stay safe, and take a break sometimes from those addictive games. Bye!